un nou video, o să ne uităm la un nou canal pe YouTube numit Ice Cream Sandwich. Nu știu de ce apare că m-am uitat la Hurt, fiind cel mai popular video al lui, că nu mi-amintesc. Poate m-am uitat acum câțiva ani, dar în genul ăsta nu m-am uitat recent. Deci, memory do not restore. O să ne uităm la Hurt, Bad Customer și poate altceva. Jumpscare.
I'm online.
O să vorbesc și eu de povești în care m-am lovit și eu, în care m-am lovit. Și am picat pe scări, la fel ca și asta. Efectiv am transformat în Sonic și m-am dus pe scări.
Looking at the rate of bone fractures in the United States, and it says here on this very fancy website that approximately 6.8 million Americans break a bone each year. Considering the population of the United States is about 300 million, that gives us about roughly 2 out of every 10 Americans break their bones
Nu-i 2 din 100?
annually. And that means that 8 out of every 10 Americans don't break their bones annually. And I have never broken my bone. So that means, by the law of transitivity, I am 8 out of every 10 Americans.
Nu. Nu-i din 100?
Millions of people in the United States alone are breaking their bones and having to deal with unimaginable pain. And I consider myself really lucky to have never
Nu cred că șur pe doar 2, n-are cum să fie corect. 20 poate. Și gen 80 nu rup.
had to go through that pain. That terrible, just horrible, horrible pain. But I have hurt myself. Not on purpose, but just because I'm being an idiot. Or because I'm near an idiot. That idiot is also usually me. I've stubbed toes, I got hit in the face with a shoe, fallen off of a skateboard, fallen downstairs. I've fallen down the stairs more than I'd like to admit. One time with an entire plate of spaghetti. But that was more of an emotional pain than a physical one. So, I've never broken a bone, but the worst pain I've had to deal with was in college on an inflatable obstacle course. I was spending the better part of an absolutely gorgeous day inside when I hear fun coming from outside my window. I go to see what it is, and I see all of these inflatable bouncy castles and obstacle courses outside on the mall, which is like the main area of the school. Near the end of the year, when finals happen, the school rents out this third-party entertainment company to blow up all of these obstacle courses and games for the students to play on so they can unwind for finals. Which makes sense, and it's really nice. And it's a lot better than some half-hearted email about how not to let finals get to your head. This was, instead, a really nice thing for the school to do. It was actually really nice. They had bouncy castles, an obstacle course, and they had one that you had to do like this. I don't know how to explain it. It's not important. What is important is the obstacle course, because that's where all of my friends are hanging out. As I'm looking out the window, I can see that they're taking turns racing each other through the obstacle course to see who's faster. Clearly they were having a blast, and I wanted to have some blast. So I went outside to go meet them. I go outside and meet up with my friends and say that I want to race them. And we have a really fun time racing for most of the afternoon. And during this, I'm actually winning most of the races. You see, I had an advantage. While most people are fast or strong, my body is wiggly. Which is perfect for an inflatable obstacle course environment. I can get around and over and through most any obstacle with relative ease. This allowed me to get a pretty big head about winning, because I was doing it a lot. The day was wrapping up and inflatable things were starting to be taken down, but I wanted one more race because I was on a winning high. One for the road, you know? The obstacle course was like this. Start, get over some bumps, dive through a hole, duck through some sideways pillars, then climb up a wall, and then slide down the other side, and whoever touches the bottom platform first wins. So the race starts, and that's exactly what I go through. Over the bumps, through the hole, sideways pillars, climb up the wall, and at this point, I'm pretty far ahead of my roommate. With the extra time I've gained, I decided I was going to be flashy. So I prop myself up, and instead of sliding down, I... What ended up happening was the inflatable structure was not fully inflated. There was a hole in it somewhere, so there was a lot of give to the inflatable course. And because I had jumped off of the top instead of sliding down, all of my inertia when I landed on the bottom platform punched through to the ground and did nothing to stop my momentum. I ended up landing all of my weight onto one of my ankles, and it really hurt. Now, I've never broken a bone before, but in this moment, I sincerely thought that I had. The guy who was taking down the obstacle course, like, peeked around the corner and was like, "You good?" And because I'm an idiot and embarrassed, I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Cool," and then left. I was absolutely writhing in pain, though. My friends had to drag me aside and lay me down because I couldn't stand up on my own. Thankfully, I have really good and loving friends, and one of them was actually a practicing nurse. So she went and grabbed a kit of a nurse thing and looked at my foot and told me to go to the doctor. I agreed, but because I couldn't exactly stand right yet, we decided to wait for the crippling pain to subside a little bit before we left. So to pass the time, my good and loving friends made jokes at my expense. Eventually, we do end up getting to the doctor, and the doctor explains that we should probably x-ray it just to make sure that there's no hairline fractures or something like that. To which I agree, so we go and get my foot x-rayed. And they determined my foot was fine. Not broken, just a sprain. Which is really hard to believe because of how much pain I had to go through. Also, it's been like 3 years and it still hurts. Ow. But they insisted that it was just a sprain, so never broken a bone. So that's the worst I've ever been hurt without breaking anything. In one hand, I have the pain I've been talking about, spraining my ankle, and that hurt. That was really bad. In the other hand, I have pain I've never experienced before, which is breaking a bone. Actually, really breaking a bone. Knowing what this felt like, I don't know if I could survive this pain. But there's only one way to find out. Thanks for watching this video. Before I go, a couple things. When I was editing this, my cousin discovered an old home video of all of us playing on a slide as kids. Just really quick, let's check it out. This is me. Look at those big old peepers. What is wrong with me? This was a deep-seated problem from childhood. I can't operate slides, I guess. Just get up on the top and... I'm not known for my intelligence. Moneymaker's up here. One more thing before I go. Dingo made a video a while ago with me in it, and I talk about another time I was hurt. You should check it out. The video is here. Also, while you're over there, subscribe to her channel. She's great. Yeah.
Sell to millions of people online with Shopify's social media and marketplace integrations.
Steel pan. Xylophone. Percussion tubes.
I am not a smart person, and I never have been, and I never will be. But there's a lot of people who say otherwise, and they support me, and they love me. I'd like to make something very clear to everyone who loves and supports me. Get out of here! Get away from my house! I know what I'm talking about when I'm calling myself stupid or dumb. This isn't a self-deprecating thing or a self-hate thing. It's just like one of those facts of life. Earth is round, sun is bright. I got square brain. Remember the hurt video I did? And there was like a bunch of math at the beginning? I wrote the script for that video, recorded the audio for that video, edited that audio, and then listened to the audio while I was animating over the audio. And it wasn't until somebody told me in the comments that I realized that my math is bad. And I got square brain. How did I get through school? Barely. Every time I have a misunderstanding where there really shouldn't be any misunderstanding, I've been writing it down and putting it in this list. And now I have a list of all of the times I was being dumb. So now my stupidity is quantifiable. Look, you can see that's how many times. Too many. Let's take a trip down idiot lane. Let's look at a couple of these. Pay-per-view is not pay-per-view. I learned this one about a year ago. I was looking at some paper and thought to myself, paper sounds a lot like pay-per-view. 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 Pay-per-view implies there's paper involved instead of a TV. Like you would just get some papers with pictures of the show you want to watch. Turns out it's something that you pay every time you view it. Who'da thunk? Calling someone a sweet pea is not calling them a pea of which is sweet. I thought maybe people like back in the day were like, yes, honey, could you hand me the sugar for my peas? That's not what people talk like in the 50s, but you get my point. Anyway, it's a flower. Which is considerably less gross. I really don't know what I was thinking of, but when information enters my mind, it just... I don't know what happens to it. I'm stupid. What would a sweet pea taste like? What is that flavor? If I had a nickel every time I was dumb, I would not have to be smart to make a lot of money. I thought for a very long time that peer pressure was pure pressure. There's water pressure, air pressure, and then there's your friends. What do you think my IQ is? I'm gonna tweet it. I wanna see what people say. Apple, 2. At least 3. One of them for each little hair proof. Oh no. 2,500. At least 100%. It's not wrong. 2. Jonathan. Big. 0. Another 0. 82. 82. That's like a real answer. Banana. No. 149. That's a lot. A billion. 120 something? That's another real answer. Out of this world. Big. Fruit. Gummy. God. Peanut. Pants. Pancakes. Guys, it's supposed to be a number. Are you guys hungry? Potato. Taking a deuce is taking a number 2 because deuce is 2 in Spanish. Maybe German. Deuce. I spelt it wrong. Wait a sec. It's English. Wait, it's English. What? It's just English. Deuce is English. What? Mushrooms are called toadstools because it's like a stool for a toad. Honestly, you could have called it anything and it would have accepted it. Oh, what's that? It's called salt mask bird. Amazing. I'm accepting that as fact. In conclusion, I'm not got the smart. There are a lot of other people in this world that are really, really good at retaining information. A lot better than I. But I'm good at other things, like this little dance. Silver lining, now I know all of these things, and my intelligence has been improving, if only a little, over time, which isn't always the case for everybody. Thanks for watching. I love seeing you watch my videos. Thank you for watching. 911? Yeah, he's back. If you haven't seen the video I've done with Noodle yet, we did a collab, and you should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's a fun time. And you know what else is a fun time? Noodle and I are also going to be streaming a little Bob Ross action Friday. Editor's note, by Friday, I mean literally today, 3:30